Hi, Devin. Good to see you back.
Hey, good morning.
So, you're coming off of a loss, and there was some extenuating circumstances with that. Can you kind of explain to us kind of what was going through that fight camp and that fight?
So pretty much that whole fight camp, my mother-in-law, she was sick and she ended up passing away a week before the fight. So it was super. It was a emotional roller coaster for me and my family. And the biggest thing was that I wasn't able to be home with my family. We all made that decision together. Super tough decision, but that's what we came up with, and we ended up fighting. Whether it was the right decision or not, that's what happened. And unfortunately, I didn't get the win, and it's just I needed to be a little more focused. But it was a huge learning experience. So
And we're dealing with a fighter who Nasrat's mother just passed as well,
yeah,
and he's announced that he's going to continue to fight. I'm
yeah.
wondering if there's any advice you might have for him, or maybe something that you didn't know going in that maybe he's going through the same sort of thing. Maybe some message you can give to him.
Just to try to focus as much as possible and not not have any hard feelings for yourself for for fighting. Don't not to feel like it's a selfish move or anything like that, and just try to fight with a whole heart, knowing that his mother would be proud of him.
And you're coming off a little bit of a layoff. What did
Yeah.
you do during that time to be ready for today?
I just stayed consistent. A lot of strength and conditioning, and also so I would do when I was back home. I would do strength and conditioning once a day, and then my skill work once a day because I wasn't sure when I was going to fight, so it was a big layoff. But so I just stayed consistent, and then when I got into camp, I was ready to go and healthy because the previous fight with Cutelaba got called off because I got COVID like 2.5 weeks before. So it was super, that was stressful. And so then we asked for the Cutelaba fight back and we got it and we jumped right back into camp and ready to go.
So when you had COVID, did you feel effects of it? Did you really get sick, or was it more just you tested positive? And
Yeah, I got a little bit sick. I have asthma, so it affected me a little bit differently. My asthma was kind of it just wouldn't go down, and then chest pains along with it. And there's a few nights where I check my life insurance policy, just like it's one of those things, and you hear about it. It's all over the news, and it just scares the crap out of you. But I'm going to bed, and I'm a little bit wheezy. My chest is hurting. I'm like I just don't know if I'm going to wake up, but thankfully I did, and I got through it. It only lasted about 6 days of that. So
is there any worry that that might come back during the fight? We've seen some fighters come back from COVID saying, "Wow, I didn't realize that was going to affect me." Is there any fear?
no, I've been training really hard, and I've put my body through the tests. And also, there's a lot that the commission and the UFC have you do to make sure that you don't have any complications. All the heart tests and cardio tests and all this. I've done every test possible to see if there's any damage or any long lasting effects, and so far we're good. Even my asthma's not affected from it.
Was there additional testing because of COVID, or is that just this normal
No,
testing?
there was additional testing, and they're doing a good job making sure everybody's safe and fighting safe, and that's one of the things. So there was definitely additional testing.
So talk to me about the matchup. It sounds like that's something you really wanted. Why
Yeah,
why was it so important to you, and why is that a fight you really want?
it's a fun fight for me. I haven't really come across too many guys in the UFC, too many of my opponents that are disrespectful before the fight. And they're, in Kutalaba's case, he's kind of a bully, and he needs to be a bully in order for him to feel confident in his fight. He's got to do something to intimidate his opponent, and I'm welcoming that. Like, let's go. There's nothing more that I would love to do than bully a bully. I hate bullies, and to me, that's what he looks like, and it I just feel like he's a little bit insecure, and like I said, he needs to do that for himself, just because of the lack of confidence.
There hasn't been any bullying yet. You haven't run into each other at the hotel or anything.
We haven't run into each other yet, and I haven't really had any contact with him, and there's been no back and forth. But I know what type of guy he is, and I know what he's gonna plan to do something. So for that reason, I already don't like him, and I'm gonna keep that animosity whether he is or not. And I'm sure knowing his style and the type of guy that he is, it'll probably be on site a little bit of a little animosity.
Do you feel like when you go into a fight where you have animosity with an opponent, it gives you a little bit of an edge, whereas maybe you would go into a fight with somebody you respect?
Yeah, I kind of like it, and I haven't had to do it in a long time. And everybody that knows me knows that I'm kind of a overly nice guy, and sometimes a lot of the people in my corner are like, you just need to be mean. You just need to be a little more mean. But it's really hard for me to genuinely do that just because of how I am, especially if the other guys being respectful. Uh, but also, if you know me, if you mess with me, I can get pretty ugly. I can get ugly too. I got that stowed down deep, but it will come out. And if you disrespect me, disrespect my family, I'm coming for you and I'm coming for blood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned when you were looking at the life insurance policy and all this other stuff, and it is serious, but once you reach that point where in your mind it becomes a life or death sort of thing, when you get back and you get beyond that and you get back to fighting, how was your mentality changed when it came to training, preparation, just taking in the whole moment? How has it all changed after that moment has passed?
Just staying consistent. I knew that was a little bit of a setback, and I knew that I needed to stay consistent and get going and not take any more time off than I already had. And because a big thing right now is being healthy is a good way to fight COVID.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to be as healthy as possible, get a little weight off, stay busy, stay active, and just keep the mind sharp, keep the mind healthy. And it's been really good so far. Stress-free camp, doing it that way. Since I was so active in the off season, even after COVID, I was able to get in camp and not stress about the little things that I have before, especially cardio and, am I going to be ready by that time? Am I going to lose muscle from my weight cut or anything like that? It's all just been pretty smooth and just a ready feeling.
Would you say that you're coming in more motivated than ever?
Yeah. It's been a long layoff, and then the opponent Cutelaba adds to it. I want to hurt him. I want to hurt him. He's just one of those guys you want to punch in the face, and a lot of the fans think the same thing. Just because of his pre-fight antics and the way he carries himself. So yeah, it's definitely motivated to put some fists in this guy's face and finish him.
I know. Speaking of the antics, usually we always see that at least first when it comes on weigh-in day or face-off. The first time you actually get to face off, are you expecting that he's going to come out and have some sort of either over-aggression during the face-offs, or would you be surprised if he didn't do something?
I'd be surprised if he didn't, and then it's just one of the things he's done in every fight, so it'd be super surprising if he didn't. And if he didn't do it, that's a win in my book. So. And I know he's not going to let that happen. So yeah, he might need to be ready too, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I said, I don't lay down for nobody. I don't run from nobody. You mess with me, I'm doing my thing.
I think when a lot of people look at Ion, they think that there's an initial rush at the beginning of the fight. He bulldogs forward, he rushes forward, and he tries to oppress his opponent really quickly. Is that kind of what you guys are expecting? Is it just a matter of weathering the initial storm and that eventually he'll wear down and then you can establish yourself?
Yeah, he'll definitely come out strong. That's a guarantee. I'll probably come out strong too. So it's gonna be a heavy first round for both of us, and we'll see what happens after that. This fight's probably gonna come down to who's got the more guts and who wants it more. And I know that I've trained for it, and we trained to win. And I'm pretty confident I'll come out with the W.
And with having the layoff, and then now having a guy that you really want to punch his face, is there any chance that there might be a danger to keep your emotions in check, to not go out and go too hard initially?
No. I've been doing this kind of stuff a long time. I started wrestling when I was 7 years old, so I've seen every type of athlete there is, every type of mentality and style. So there's a certain way to go about it with that, with a little bit of anger, but also focus. Focused intensity is super key for this fight.
And I guess you kind of answered there. Last thing, what needs to happen to make sure they get your arm raised? Is it just maintaining that focus?
Yeah, maintaining that focus and just putting a hurting on him, just make him wish he didn't take the fight. I really want to humble this guy. Yeah, that's a big thing for me. I I'm a decently humble guy. And this fight's allowing me to kind of step out of my normal and have a little more attitude, have a little more chip on my shoulder. And who knows, this could be a thing that's going to start setting me apart in my future fights. Not saying I want to change, my personality or nothing, but just to see that side. I haven't been able to be kind of angry and be pissed off and want to hurt somebody and want to cause them to bleed. I just haven't had that yet, and I have that right now. So it's kind of a good thing. It kind of feels good. Hopefully, I don't get too addicted to it, but yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you.